So, continue.
Well, my name is DJ. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, and I struggle with mental illness, performance anxiety, and stand-up comedy. My teenage dream was to be a comedian wannabe. I blogged it, and I made it to the global stage. Yes, #1 on the Google search page. And that was my only joke. It's taken me 40 years to work up the courage to stand up here and do my first stand-up comedy set. I feel like the Israelites walking through the desert or something. But it's an anxious thing to stand up here, and if there was a sound guy, he'd be the most anxious because there's no 3-second censored button. I could be saying something very offensive or off color or swear or cuss, but this is a church family crowd, so I will respect the house of God, lest I be stricken. But anxiety, public speaking is certainly very anxious, and anxiety is contagious. And one of the things I'm learning about leadership is having a non-anxious presence is very helpful. So let's make a deal, all right? You don't have to laugh at anything, and I don't have to be funny. This is not stand-up comedy, just storytelling, okay? All right, very good. So I learned this in seminary. If you lower your expectations far enough, you'll never be disappointed. Yes, I spent 4.5 years in seminary, got married to my wife, and spent another 5 years pastoring. I spent an entire decade of my life trying to be a pastor. And I was an okay pastor. Who needs an okay pastor? And so I left the pastorate, and you know what ex-pastors do? We become church consultants. So I still can't get enough of church. I even made it a family tradition to go to as many churches as we can on Christmas and Easter. Our record is 10 in a week.
Wow.
And I get more eye rolls from Christians than I do non-Christians. I'm not sure what's up with that. But I love going to church, worshiping God, and we're supposed to love worshiping God, aren't we? And along the way, I've gotten to meet a lot of pastors. I go to a little church called Saddleback. You may have heard of it. They have 12 locations all over Southern California, and one time we were at Rancho Capistrano, and Pastor Rick, the founding pastor, was there baptizing. He's talking about the wedding ring being a symbol of marriage, just like baptism is a symbol of faith. And then he spots me standing in the audience and says, "Hey, DJ," and then goes back to baptizing, and my wife is standing there totally embarrassed because we had just ruined this person's sacred moment. So, funny stories along the way of church consulting and hanging out with pastors. So, I just turned 55 last year. And the ages of life have a number of interesting milestones. Turning 18, you can vote. Turning 21, buy some alcohol and have beer and wine. 25, my son is here. He just turned 25, so he can rent a car. At the age of 35, you can become the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the country. Now, I don't know what's up with that because most of our presidents are at least twice that age, so that doesn't make sense. And, and then what, 65 you get to retire? But I discovered 2 things you get at 55. So there's a T-Mobile discount plan for 55 plus, unlimited data, text, and hotspot. Very awesome. And you qualify for the Denny's senior menu. Oh. So when you turn 55, cash in on that. But amazing milestones along the way. And then one day out of the blue, I had the invitation to share about my deepest, darkest personal secret. Do you remember ever doing that? I remember it like it was yesterday, because I just looked in my journal. And, well, my therapist thought it was funny. a reporter from the OC Register found my website, not because I was the comedian wannabe, but because I was the church consultant. And he wanted to interview me, talk to me for 2 hours, captured my work story as well as my personal story, because I mentioned bipolar disorder. And he graciously reviewed the article with me before he published it, and that was my invitation to go public with my story of having bipolar disorder. And you can imagine, as an Asian American Christian male, to share a mental illness like that in public kind of jeopardizes your career and how people might think of you. But since that time, almost 10 years ago to the date, that God's really used my life story to help others. It's lifted the load off of me so I no longer have to hide. And through that courage, I've taken some bold steps to live more openly and honestly and embarking on some new things. So now I look at life as bonus time. It's like a video game. You've heard of the video game Mario Kart?
Yeah.
So my life is like Mario Kart. On my left and right, I can pick my friends and those I want to do life with. And sometimes I hit some road bumps. Sometimes my gear is stuck in first gear and I run out of gas. But I keep going, and at the top of the screen is that countdown clock. That time is counting down. It doesn't cause a lot of anxiety, but it helps me realize life is a gift. I want to be urgent, doing the things that I need to be doing, and have some laughs along the way. Thank you for letting me share.
Great job.
And so my new adventure that I'm starting in the next 2 weeks is launching something called Christian Asian Mental Health. And it's very much a convergence of all my life experiences personally, as well as trying to be a pastor. And so I've gotten to connect with a lot of pastors in the Asian American, multi-ethnic, and digital church worlds. And so I want to make churches known as a safe place for those who struggle with mental health. Through the use of digital media, podcasting, webinars online, seminars in person, and support groups. And all of these things are things that we, as the church, can do without, or in addition to complement the healthcare professionals that do therapy and medicine. But people with lived experiences are actually lived experts, and we can really empower them to use all that they bring to the body of Christ. So that's my prayer request, that God will continue to open those opportunities so I can do it with my full time instead of just my volunteer time. Thank you.